When was the last time you got lost in a world that wasn't your own? Maybe it was Middle-earth, maybe it was Tamriel or the back alleys of Night City. What was it about those places that hooked you in? For me, it was the escape, of being lost in a reality that wasn't mine, one filled with possibilities that stretched far beyond what I could see. This feeling of escape through imagination eventually inspired me to create my own worlds, places I could explore within my own mind, and well, I've never looked back. I know some of you have tried your hand at world building, and for others it's been a passing thought, but I'm here to urge you to just go for it. Not because of the joy that world building can bring, and believe me it does, but in how world building teaches us to create meaning through discovery. It's the art of curiosity, logic, and empathy, and even if your world never leaves your notebook, practicing these things will change the way your brain perceives the very world around you. Sounds dramatic, I know, but if you give me your time, I'll show you exactly what I mean. Every world begins with a question, a desire to push an idea to its furthest limit, to see what lies beyond the edge of what you already understand. That's why curiosity is the first step in creation. It's the moment when wonder outpaces explanation, when you feel that spark that says there's something here. It's easy to forget that this is where every great world and every great idea begins. You see, world building often starts with that spark of a question, a burning what if that tingles with possibility. What if magic came from song? What if the world balanced on the back of a cosmic turtle? What if our reality was a simulation? Curiosity rewards you with glimpses of something bigger, a feeling that there's always more to find if only you keep digging. It transforms the unknown from something intimidating into something magnetic. Before long, you're not just asking questions, you're chasing them. You start to crave that moment of discovery, the rush of connecting an idea that suddenly fits. This is how world building teaches you to linger in that space, to savor the mystery instead of rushing through it, to treat every answer not as an ending but an invitation to look one step closer. Because curiosity isn't just about finding answers, it's about falling in love with the pursuit itself. And once you've tasted that feeling of being lost in the question, then you realize that curiosity is a fuel that can train us to look beyond and to never be satisfied with good enough. If curiosity is the spark, logic is the kindling that keeps the fire burning. Because every world, no matter how fantastical, has to make sense, at least within the confines of the rules it has established. Logic is what turns scattered ideas into a living ecosystem. It's the understanding that if magic exists, it must have cost and consequence. If cities rise, it's because something sustains them. If wars are fought, they're fought for reasons that feel real. World building demands a kind of creative rationality. You have to think through systems, the histories, economies, ecologies, languages, and hierarchies, and see how all of these pieces fit together. It's not about realism for its own sake, it's about coherence. A believable world is one that feels like it could keep spinning even when you look away. In this framework, one detail births another, and soon you've built a civilization that feels inevitable, as though it could have always existed. It's easy to believe that logic is antithetical to art, but this is not true. In fact, logic married with creativity is at the heart of philosophy. It teaches us how we can search for meaning even in the fantastical. This kind of thinking refines your ability to reason, to see consequences, to trace systems, and in that way, logic grounds your curiosity. It turns inspiration into understanding. But even logic can only take you so far, because once you've built the systems and the histories and the myths, a question still lingers. Who lives there? And that's where empathy comes in. Every world needs people, not just names or archetypes, but perspectives, lives shaped by place, by history, and by belief. Empathy is what transforms a constructed setting into something alive. It's a difference between a world that's interesting and one that can be felt. Because to make a believable world, you have to imagine how others see it, how they live within it. It's another to ask what it feels like to grow up under its laws and to learn how it affects a young street urchin who is smothered by them. It is one thing to imagine a pantheon of gods and another to ask how a priest might look up to the heavens when he's doubting his faith. Every one of these small moments forces you to step outside of yourself, to inhabit someone else's truth. World building then becomes a quiet exercise in human understanding. Through this exercise, you begin to intuit how people justify their choices, how belief system forms, or how fear and hope can shape an entire civilization. It's empathy on a large scale, the ability to see not just individuals but societies through the lens of understanding. C.S. Lewis once wrote, "In reading great literature, I become 1,000 men and yet remain myself." World building lets you do the same, but from the inside out. You're not just reading about other lives, you're creating them. You're giving them space to exist, and in doing so, you're practicing understanding. And that's why empathy might be the most important world building skill of all, because it doesn't end when the world is done. It seeps into how you see people and how you listen and interpret those around you. Do you understand now what I mean about the power of world building? It's not just escapism, it's a refinement of our most important human qualities. When Tolkien created Middle-earth, he wasn't just designing a setting, he was processing his experiences, his love of language, and his perspectives on war. His world wasn't an escape from reality, it was his way of engaging with it. Every choice in the worlds we create reveals what we value and how we interpret the world around us. Whether we realize it or not, every fictional world carries its own philosophy, brought on through these questions posed by our curiosity, followed through on by our logic, and exposed through our empathy. That's why world building matters, because through the act of creating other worlds, we come to understand our very own. We see the invisible systems that shape us, the ones we live inside of every day. So even if no one ever reads your notes, even if your map stays half finished or your world never even leaves your imagination, build it anyways. Because world building isn't just about the final product, it's about what happens to you in the process. So keep building, keep dreaming, because the worlds we imagine aren't just reflections of who we are, they're reminders of who we could be. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this discussion, then consider watching this video here where I create my own setting for a hypothetical Magic the Gathering set. Thanks as always for your support, and with that friends, I will catch you in the multiverse. Bye.